Good morning, everybody. Right, so let's have a look at XRP, I suppose, and a bit of Bitcoin. So, I mean, this is a continuation of what I told you I expected to happen. I'm not one of them people that said, I told you it was going to happen, it had to happen because I said so. The idea is that XRP is a coin that I've followed for since 2017 really, and I've got to know it. Do you know what I mean? And this is one thing I always try and tell people to do with with trading charts. Don't get lost in the swamp of trading every single chart that you could possibly find. Focus on about 10 to 20 charts and let them become your friends, and that way you'll be able to work out where they're going to move, because they've done that kind of behavior in the past. XRP is a really good example of that. So without going into boring details, this is what it likes to do. It's done this before. We reclaim the 200 exponential, this white one here. Once we've reclaimed that, we break above the cloud, reclaim the cloud. Once we've done those two precursors, and obviously already either have a golden cross or have a golden cross incoming, it's pretty much time for it to do one of its mega runs. Now, with XRP, mega runs, they're difficult to determine how far it's going to go. I used some clickbait, I understand, to draw people into the idea that this was going to moon. And at the end of the day, clickbait's, it's only really, upsetting if a clickbait doesn't do anything at all. So far, it's almost done 50% since that clickbait video. But I did say that the clickbait video on that video that we could reach areas of brand new all-time highs. I think it said about a 500% move or something, but that was based upon fib retracements and extensions. So it could. In theory, it could, if it wanted to, have a big push up to about $5. But I'm not really suggesting, in all seriousness, that it definitely would. But it's nice to see that the TA has worked out so far, and it's still working. So I woke up this morning, not that long ago, took a look at the movers of today, and XRP is pretty much one of the top of the list because the chart says it was going to do that. So. Without rambling too much about why it's done it and where it could possibly go to, we want to see how extended it is and if it's going to have a retracement from this point forward, or if it's going to continue, or and this, that, and the other. So at the moment, the chart on the day looks great. So we've got a golden cross here. We've been surfing up the 10 exponential. In fact, it's been so bullish, it's not even really come down to retest that. I would expect a retest of that. That's how XRP often does. So we had a similar kind of move on this parabolic run, all the way up for a few days, didn't even come down to test it. Price action caught up with the 10 exponential, and then it gave it that further push. So this is, in my opinion, likely to be in XRP's early stages of this pump, right? And if that's the case, then we can mark off certain areas, I suppose, determined most usually by a weekly candle bodies, where we could really think about getting rejected from. First area is more of a zone, I'd suppose, than a simple flat level of support, because when it gets up to these parabolic levels, it's not going to be neat and tidy. This, I suppose, would be the zone between $1.32 and $1.45. Breaking above $1.45, then I would expect it to have the power to probably go back all the way up, and probably above $2. And it sounds a bit bold and crazy, but I think it would, because XRP, when it does move very aggressively, and everybody stands back in awe, going, "Oh, but I heard by a friend that it's all a scam and that it's centralized and it's blah, 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 blah." And their head pops because they fail to realize that they've fallen into the trap of becoming a sheep and not thinking for themselves. Anyway, I've woken up on the wrong side of bed, haven't I? So I mean, the idea is that you trade a chart unbiasedly based upon indicators and any kind of chart dynamic. You don't base it upon the fact that if it's centralized or not. None of that really should matter. It really doesn't matter to me. I appreciate how Bitcoin being decentralized is a great idea. Doesn't necessarily mean that absolutely everything that you trade from that point forward must be decentralized, or it's worthless. Not at all. Not at all. Anyway, so yeah, when it gets going, it's probably going to rip a little bit harder. But for the moment, it's the start of the start of a pump. We'll have to see if we can reach and break $1.32 to $1.45, and getting above those areas would be pretty good. If we just bring that over to our larger chart over here. What is this over here? So just at the top of this portion of the well, I suppose you call it the golden pocket, right? The fib retracements. If we were to break above this level, it's $1.34 at the 0.382 fib retracement. This should then cause continuation up to the next level. And then so on and so on and so on. In fact, it's when fibs of this size break at this specific level, it does often cause a nice melt up. I mean, this one was a very long candle body. That was 1 week's worth, and then the following week carried on. I think, considering where we started from here, given the fact that we've got an incoming golden cross on the daily, given the fact that we're turning up quite dramatically on the MACD, on the weekly. And there's plenty of room to move on the weekly, actually, on all of these oscillators. I would not at all be surprised if we break $2 and then continue, like my clickbait title said the other day. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say about it. Everything's working out quite nicely. Nice big area of resistance over here, and then I would expect a parabolic shift, and then of course, the obvious situation for XRP, which would be a large consolidation from that, wherever that top will be. Absolutely normal thing to happen, absolutely perfectly normal. And again, yes, it's another one of those things where people will be saying to me, where should I buy XRP? Well, I mean, the idea is that you should have already bought it, really. But as I say, every single time that these pumps start to happen, XRP will give you another entry point. And it will be the 200 exponential on the daily at some point in time. So for the moment, I just leave it alone if you've not bought it, if you don't own it, and just wait for that to happen, which might take quite a while. But it'll probably happen again. That's how it always happens. So if you didn't buy it, don't worry. XRP will probably give you another shot. Because it likes to retrace after these giant moves. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. That was a bit of a rambly one. Maybe I should have had a bit of time to cool off after my morning coffee. It's obviously I've got a very low tolerance for caffeine. You can clearly tell. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take it easy. Goodbye.